Hey guys, welcome back to episode 2 of our modded 1.6.4 series. I'm Illusion, and good buddy Hotag's around here somewhere. Oh, back there. So, let me catch you up on what we've worked on between episodes. Kind of expanded this out a little bit. Hotag threw some a little bit better bricks up. Made an exact crafter. Play with that here in just a few minutes. Got a smeltery automated real quick with a redstone clock. And some hoppers. Hopper outputting from underneath into a chest, and from this chest into the smeltery. So that's the way we've been doing most of our ore processing up until now. Made a little storeroom so we can random cobble on the ground. Made a storeroom so we can keep organized a little bit, because with Gregtech and all the other mods we had, we were quickly overflowing 4 chests. So we made that. Nothing else has changed too much. Still got the little indoor farm that we need to process, and nothing's changed much downstairs. We also did a bunch of ore collecting. As you can see in my inventory, got quite a bit of bronze. We've been making bronze in the smeltery versus hand grinding it, so it's a little bit quicker to make. So what we're going to do in this episode is we're going to get some better tools going, let's get some armor, period. And we're going to start working on our bronze machines. So let's get going. Quick little, yeah, we do need the armor. Neither one of us have died since last episode, so that's been good. We've been kind of keeping it safe, but we've pretty much stayed in our little hidey hole. So our plan right now is to stay in this hidey hole, kind of use this as our jumping off point to expanding. So once we get a little further into Gregtech and a little bit further into the mods, we're going to leave this behind and have a much bigger and better factory, house, base, whatever you want to call it. So let's get into this exact crafter. It's a newer mod. What it basically is a cross between Red Power 2's workbench and the fabricator from Zycraft. It can pull from adjacent inventories, and you can also use like AE to export things. So it's a really cool mod. You can see these little chips right here. You can put these chips and it'll give you a recipe. You can pull straight out of the recipe like you see out here. So then I'm just going to make some bunch of plates, and you can see that this acts as an inventory. It's going to pull out the inventory right here. And these are the Tinker's Construct bronze, not IC2. But that's okay, they still work. So we're going to need a whole bunch of plates to start making our machines. While I'm working on this, actually we broke our hammer. That's okay, we can make another one. Let me go grab a stick. And wood chest. There's a stick. So I think Hotag is going to get us some iron armor. So you can just click on this to clear the inventory. And a stick. Have a nice little hammer now. And you can see right there, gives you a little indication if you are missing any kind of ingredient for the recipe. So it's a great tool to use when you're starting to make things. Also, it changes the configs for vanilla crafting recipes, so you can actually leave items in there without them falling on the ground or being injected on the ground. So that's a nice little config. Like I said, there is a config in the pack for it that you can change, but I'm not sure why people would want to change that, but it's there if you don't like that tool. Oh, what am I making? So let's make some more plates. So we're going to need a bunch of them. So let's just go ahead and get a stack for right now, because we're going to try to get all the Gregtech machines made, and I do have some more bronze cooking. So we're going to get a small coal boiler. So furnace, bricks. Actually, I need to get some cobble. Forgot the cobble. We had to expand this farm a little bit since we are playing on hard. The hunger bar goes down pretty quickly. Here's some cobble. Now we need a piston. And looks like Hotag's got all the iron. You can toss me some iron whenever you get a second. Thank you. So, and this is a great place to keep our tools. We're keeping all our tools right now so they don't get lost or run away. So that's our first inventory. You can see that just like these recipes, they are shift clickable to set the recipe mode into your crafting bench. So we have our first Bronze Age machine, small boiler. You can see that the wrench took durability, the wrench took durability, and we have a recipe. All right, so let's see what's next. Okay, cool, no problem. So we're not going to make a grinder. Here's actually the recipe for the grinder. So it involves a diamond. We actually haven't picked up any diamonds yet, but it does grind down your ores, but it only grinds them down to 1 dust, and it's like a 10% chance of an extra dust. So it's not as efficient compared to putting it through like an AE grinder or putting it through a smeltery. So we're going to kind of skip over this machine so that way we're not losing our doubling of our resources. Next machine we're going to make, let's see, steam furnace. So that's not too bad. So I'm going to make a hole real quick. Oh, I need that hammer black, please. Never get a chance. So we'll just make something else while we can. Oh, I had to make an iron hammer. Okay, so back to... So we're going to need 8 plates. Well, I could just do it like this. 7, 8. So we're making a basic machine casing right now to make the steam furnace. As you can see, it does need a machine hull or some kind of case to make it. And I named down a furnace. Let's just make quite a few furnaces. So you can see how handy this exact crafting bench is. It's definitely very useful before you start getting into AE and have the crafting terminal. Steam furnace. One more try. There we go, steam furnace. Oh, and now we have armor. Cool. So we got our steam furnace, we have small boiler, and smelter requires 2, so we'll come back to that. Forge hammer, one of the more important ones we need. So we need 4 plates and 4 rods. The rods actually take just a file and an iron to make the rods, so we need 4 of those as well. Let's make those real quick. So 1, 2, 3... 4. Make a hammer. So actually need 8. And for the rest of the gear. So then we're going to need 8 iron for plates and then a wrench. Okay, so we'll actually make that 16. Well, you don't have to do that, that's right. It's nice. There we go, there's our 8. So let's make some gears. There we go, that should work. So 1, 2 gears. Same, we're making a forge hammer. So we're going to make a piston, another hull. So you can see this is pretty resource intensive, and I'm gonna have to go get some more iron. Come on, click, there we go. 8. So definitely look out for the mod spotlight we have on this. We did record one the other day. However, my computer ate it, so we're going to have to refilm that one again. So apologize for the delay in getting that one out. So we're probably going to get that recorded very soon. Now, piston. Get some wood. So if I didn't show you guys, this is how the, well, I'll show you in my inventory. This is, so normally you would get, with the Gregtech add-on, you would normally get it 2. So just put this all on top, then you're back to 4. So that's kind of what we were talking about last episode. So we're going to make a quick piston. We're almost out of cobble. So if I ever did want to save recipe, which I should have saved that recipe for the piston, because with all these machines, we will be using lots of pistons. So let me actually show you how to set that up real quick. I should really try to see if this actually works for pistons. Okay, so Hotag's going to go run to the desert, pick up some cactus, because we are going to use waterproof pipe, or which they're now called fluid pipe. So we're going to start cooking that off so we can actually have a way to output our steam. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with this recipe. What am I not doing right? Oh, you can use 4. Oh, that's cool. Well, I'm not sure what's going on here. So we got wood, we have cobble. Let me just try to reset the recipe again. Oh, I know why, because I did it backwards. Yeah. There we go. So we're just going to take this recipe, we're going to stack it right here, click the save. So now this chip is actually saved for a piston. So we can just, anytime we can pop this in and pull right out of this inventory to make pistons, which I'll show you here in a few minutes. So it's a pretty cool feature. You can see I got pipes already set up that I made earlier for the fluid pipes. So we're back to making this hammer. We now have everything we need. Alright, so we now have a steel forged hammer. So basically this hammer takes 2 ingots and makes them into plates. So the difference between using this steam-powered hammer and using a regular, and then just using a tool hammer, is you're saving the durability on the tool version of the hammer. So it's going to be a little bit cheaper in the resources, and you can see how many plates we're making with this. So next thing, we'll make a blast furnace. That's pretty cheap. But I'm out of bricks, but I made some more right here. Yes. So blast furnace we're actually going to use to make steel. So bronze plates on the outside. Just clear this recipe out. Yeah, eventually. Hopefully sooner than later. There we go. So now we have a bronze blast furnace. So we're starting to get there with this Bronze Age. So what else do we want to make? So we have a boiler, we have a furnace, we have a forge hammer, we have a blast furnace. Let's see what else we can make. We can make a smelter, so we need 2 furnaces for that. It's not too hard, so we need to check our iron reserves. Well, let's go ahead and toss this in here and let that work while we're making this. And I'm going to start digging this up. Actually, got the boiler on the left. I also made myself a very cheap basic iron pickaxe. And this is actually a flint sword. Just a stick with 2 flint. And it's got a fair amount of damage and of course very cheap to make. Hopefully Hotag has got some cactus green. Yes, he does. So let's cook that. We've got a bad storm outside too. So I've got a smelter, so we need a little bit more. Well, you know what? Let's make this out of. We can make one of these out of bronze. There we go. We should have iron coming out pretty quickly. Forge hammer, so okay, we're having to make. Wait, that's not what we're making. We're making a smelter. So we're making furnaces. Okay, so we're gonna need 2 more furnaces. Okay, it's not too bad. Let's make those real quick. In fact, I'm gonna set a recipe chip for that as well. So let's pull 2 down for that. Let's make some more rods. So we're going to make, for some reason I can't, there we go, that works better. So that'll be 8 for our first one, and 8 for our second one. See if we got any iron coming out yet. We do. Excellent. And we just broke that hammer. So the cool thing about this is you kind of interchange the holes, just like in other versions of Gregtech. I do have the 4-inch hammer made, but we have to get this cactus green, so let's turn it into waterproof. Can you go grab some coal out of the chest? And some water. You can work on it, getting a water set up. So that's how we're going to output our steam from the boiler to the other machines, and then we're going to have an exhaust port on the back end of it. So just put this in my inventory real quickly. Actually, go ahead and start setting these machines down. So we'll put the furnace. And then we'll have a forge hammer, and then we'll have a smelter here in just a minute. So we're still making this. Okay. So let's get that. So let's just. So we have one, and we have two. And got some coal there. We got a smelter now. And now we're missing bricks again. Okay, let me fix that. They're in this chest. So that's the cool thing about this. So it will absolutely tell you what you're missing. Squeezing extractor. So we'll need that too. Compressor. Okay. So guys, I'm going to cut the camera real quick as we finish making up these machines, and I'll bring it back right when we get back into it. Hey guys, welcome back. So we just finished putting down all these machines. So what we have here is Hotag threw a little redstone pump to put water into their boiler. The steam is actually outputting underneath to all these machines. So what we have is a steam furnace, forge hammer to make plates out of, smelter to make alloys, Invar, etc., compressor, and the squeezing extractor for extracting our rubber to start moving into the steel/electronic age. So we got all that. I finished making all the materials for the bronze blast furnace. If you do make this, you will need a whole lot of bronze. I went through, I believe, 3 bronze hammers just making this. Making the rest of these machines. All these machines took me about 3 hammers or so to make. So you got to factor that in when you're starting to gather your resources. So let's go ahead and make this. So just like a railcraft blast furnace, say 3x3 on the bottom. You have your blast furnace in the middle. I'm actually going to build it like this. So really the only thing different than the railcraft boiler is it's actually hollow all the way up. And how am I one short? There we go. Like I was just saying, but didn't do. It's hollow all the way up. So let me finish making this. It looks like I'm one short. Am I one short? Maybe I am. Well, either I lost one on the ground or my math is wrong. One of the two. No matter, I have all the materials ready to go right here, so we'll just pull off another set. You can see how quick and easy that exact crafter is. Oh, it's on the inside. See, I knew my math was good. So the cool thing about this blast furnace, this will take us into the steel age. The difference between the railcraft furnace and the Gregtech furnace, it actually will use 4 coal per 16 of iron. So it looks like Hotag is cleaning that up. So you can see it also has a little GUI set up so you can actually see the building, just like on all Gregtech multi-blocks. So once he gets finished that, we'll actually get it fired up and get going. The key thing about this is it does not need steam, just like the rest of the machine. Unlike the rest of the machines. So there it goes. It is a slow process though. So you can count your minutes to getting steel. So now we got that set up. So we have all our machines. So we are now officially into the Bronze Age. start working ahead a little bit. We're just going to have to take their time with getting this steeling. It's one of the first uses we're going to use for this steel is we're going to make a steel pickaxe. With Tinker's Construct, a steel is a very versatile pick. It can allow you to get the steel, get the cobalt, the irodite for Tinker's Construct, but you can also mine obsidian. So it's a good, and diamond. So it's a good versatile pick. So that's one of our first 3 ingots. Actually, let me check the recipe, see if that requires plates or not. So it does. So our first 4 steel will actually go towards making a steel pickaxe. But that's okay. Not a problem. So as we move into our next episode, we're going to start getting into a little more railcraft. We probably will visit the nether, see if we can gather up some material, some nether brick and soul sand and things like that, so we can actually start throwing up a railcraft blast furnace as well as a coal coke. Start getting into a little bit more railcraft so we can expand our operations. So yeah. Like I said, this is kind of going to be our starter base, kind of jumping off point, and have all our machines here so we can continue to make bigger and bigger things. So as we get deeper into Gregtech, of course, if you've played Gregtech, you know you need lots of space for the machines. So we'll be getting into that. So again, thanks for joining us on episode 2. We'll have episode 3 here in the next few days or so. Be sure to leave us any feedback, any questions, and we will get them answered for you. Follow us on Twitch and Twitter to watch Hotag stream and be updated on anything that's going on with our channel or anything that's going on with us in general. So we will see you next time. See you later.